Now, financial advisors have been extended a lifeline by ASIC with an extension to the relief for financial advice as related to the early release of super. Well, to take us through it is Mark Hoven from Advisor Ratings. Mark, great to talk to you. So this was all, I guess, playing into this so-called financial cliff that we were looking at sort of September, October. So given this extension of this relief, what's that going to mean?
Well, it's an extension I think was anticipated, given that the early access to super regime was also pushed out to the end of December, and the original ASIC instrument to provide relief on advice was also rolled out back in April, aligned to early access to super. So they're now both aligned. Something like $33 billion of money has been pulled out by members of super funds since the scheme was first launched, and with that comes sort of a need for advice to help people understand, one, what to do with that money, and two, whether or not they should take it out in the first place.
So have advisors seen, big uptake in their services when it comes to the early release of super?
Oh, it's an interesting question, Nadine. We've actually been recently polling our advisor base on that very question, and I guess the responses were that they haven't actually had much inquiry around that from their client base, which is actually very concerning if you're an advisor. What we were seeing reported was that their clients had gone out and taken money from their super funds without talking to their advisor. And in some cases, we're now turning up at the advisor's doorstep asking, how should I invest this? What should I do with it? The advisor would typically have been saying, well, actually, you're in a really good financial situation. You shouldn't have taken it out in the first place. We've also seen increased interest in new people, new clients getting advice. And that's been mostly around income, loss of income or impacted income. And so the advice that they're looking for is more around cash flow and budgeting. That's what we're seeing at the moment from the field.
The advice has come too late then, because obviously you're concerned about so many people taking out so much money from their super, some, particularly the young, having cleared out their accounts completely, and exactly about where they have put it, or has it just been for immediate relief, and that obviously jeopardises their future finances?
Oh, look, I think the people have done research on this. Billion has published some research where that money is being spent. And that research is quite concerning. It's going into discretionary spend. We've talked about this in the past: gambling, buying personal hygiene services. Spending it where maybe it's not so prudent. Of course, lots of other people are paying off credit card bills at high interest rates and doing the right thing with that money. I think extending the program to the end of the year is prudent. I think we're still going to see a lot more people in financial pain, businesses in really difficult circumstances as we taper down off the JobKeeper and JobSeeker program. So I expect we'll continue to see that $30 billion in early access growing and ongoing demand for advice.
Okay, we are making our way toward the end of the year. I'm curious, Mark, do you have just a bit of an update on the Together Australia campaign and how that's gone?
Oh, thanks, Nadine. Yeah, it's 3 months old now. Launched in July. 3 months old. It's gone tremendously well. This is a campaign to, of course, grow the awareness of the consumer of the financial advice industry, and by that I mean financial advisors and digital solutions. We've had something like 30,000 consumers sign up to our free newsletter, and something like 100,000 now are visiting our campaign website every month. So it's been a tremendous result. We think we've helped lots of people with good money making or money saving or money protecting information, the ability to access advisors who have 500 odd advisors who have said they want to help, and the digital tools and other sort of calls to action on that campaign site. So we hope we can keep it going. We are looking for more financial support from the industry. We are really struggling to continue to fund this, and we're really running it as a non-profit. So we would appreciate anyone in your audience who has some a check they can help us with, that would be tremendous.
There you go. Well, it's to help Australians, so happy to give you a voice. Hey, Mark, thank you. Mark Hoven there joining us from Advisor Ratings.